And in seat 8. Had a nice run of it recently, and he fancies the King 9. He's raised in that. Not a massive raise, but maybe enough to make some players ahead of him fold small cards.
Oh, that's an interesting call. I mean, Cooper's called with the ace-6. Now, I hate those type of hands.
Ace-8, my favourite hand.
Oh, he's got now. Cooper's picked up a nut flush draw. See how he plays it. Oh, he's all in.
That's with the ace in his hand and the 3 community cards, all clubs, of course. So the chances are another club and he takes it. Well, we know he would. Of course, he's got to read Duval.
Yeah, you're taking a gamble when you're making a bet like this. I mean, you're betting on, you know, on the come, as it were, and he wins the pot with that aggressive play. 200,000. Okay, that's a handy sum to be winning at this, you know, at this stage of the game.
He was also after the flop. No one had hit a pair, so he was still sitting in a leading position.
Okay, so next hand. So Cooper's on the button. Dahl first to act. He's got a pair of 4s again.
With 5-handed here, we've got 5 players left, even though it's a small pair. Is that a hand someone would be looking forward to hitting?
Well, it's interesting. You see, we've seen him fold this pair once before in an early position. This time, he raises with it. So it's slightly shorter handed. So you're right, it's stronger. Faulkner folds. And Cooper. He's certainly got a playable hand this time. I mean, if he calls his ace-6, that's weird, isn't it? But then again, you know, there was a raise.
But not a massive raise, and the fold the ace-10 suited maybe would have fancied a look at that.
It's odd that what I find interesting is that he called Jeff's raise with the King 9 with ace-6 and then folds the ace-10 against a pair of 4s. And he doesn't know it's a pair of 4s. But...
And Jeff against hitting more ladies, so we get the pocket queens against the pocket 4s. But will Dahl even see that because Duval's raised?
Well, let's see how Dahl plays it. I mean, they're really, really weak. I mean, you're even money against 5-6. You know, it's not, you know, it's not a strong hand. You know, he's gonna pretend he's putting down something much bigger than he is. That's the reality. He's just gonna wait a while, stare down Jeff, try and suss out the situation.
And of course, if he calls it, he's only looking at hitting that 4. It's the only way he's going to get out of jail.
I mean, you're not Jeff's been around far too long to worry about a tournament like this. He's a very, very wherever I lay my hat type of guy. Oh, and he's folded. Jeff wins. Well
called by the Duffy. The hands folded. The chips go the way of Jeff Duval. But he's still got a lot of work to do if he's going to come out top with these last 5 players at the European Poker Tour in London. Forget about New York. London is the city that never sleeps, and we're here for the European Poker Tour final table. Here's our chip count. A new man at the top, John Faulkner, 430,000 chips, but it's tied at the top. Cooper, Shipley and Dahl all with massive stacks. Down the bottom still is Jeff Duval. Back to the action. John Duthie's with me here in the commentary booth, and so far not many hands have reached the river, and if I was watching it at home, I might think to myself, well, why aren't we seeing hands go the whole way through in the thrills and spills? But the bottom line is, just every player's playing really good poker.
Well, they're playing very, very tight, conservative poker at the moment, but there's a lot of money at stake here. You know, £200,000 for the first prize. It's a significant amount of money, and they're playing very, very cautiously as a result. Okay, let's see. So let's see what Jeff's going to do here. He's raising
with his King 6 unsuited.
Okay, so that's good. King of clubs, 6 of diamonds. Okay, round to bar Dahl. Didn't quite catch those cards. Looked like 7-3.
He's not going to like that. He's going to fold that out. Bar Dahl in seat 1 from Norway. A massive online player. Which you would imagine would make him more aggressive, which is maybe why he's calling this hand, and he does it with a 7-3 unsuited.
Yep, he's trying to... I mean, he's got position on Jeff, which means he's last to act. So he's going to try and outplay him here. Well, he's actually in the league now. He's got 10s and 7s.
A surprise check from Dal. Maybe many would have betted that in that situation. He was only getting beat by a 10.
Okay, yeah, they both checked it.
A very cautious hand.
See what happens here.
Will Dal fancy this? Duval makes the bet.
Yeah, well, Jeff's made a bet with a bluff, and it looks like Dal's going to... Yep, Dal's called with his 2-pair.
It's a fat call. Dal will take this hand. And that's a nice little earner.
It is, but I think that Jeff's going to be disgusted when he's looking over it with disgust at that hand. I mean, 7-3 is a horrible hand, horrible hand.
And he called a raise.
He was taking a gamble.
And the gamble paid off indeed. His 7s hold up. Bardal, of course, a big internet player, and he goes in those 7-3s, maybe a more traditional player wouldn't. Is there a hostility between those players who play online and those people that like to see who they're playing against? Is there a mistrust?
There's not so much a mistrust, but I think that there's live poker players tend to look down for some reason on internet players. I don't know why. Okay, so look, here we've got Robert Cooper raising with ace-7 suited in an early position. You've got Shipley's looking interested with something. I don't know what his cards were, did you?
Haven't seen them yet, no, John, but Cooper's calling that ace-7 suited. That's a nice hand. It's a nice small raise. And here we go, it's pocket 9, so it is leading. It's leading significantly at this stage. But again, we should get some serious action here at this table, no matter how cautious they're playing.
Wow.
We got some great cards in the ace-queen. Another raise at the table.
Okay, so Duval's moved all in. So we had Cooper make a small raise, then Shipley come over, make a bigger raise, and now Duval has moved all in. Cooper's passed, and now Shipley's going to make a decision.
He's called pretty well throughout this final table so far.
What he has, what he's thinking about is, has Jeff got a pair bigger than 9s, obviously.
Well, he has every right to believe he does. We've seen so many pocket kings, pocket queens, pocket jacks at this table so far.
Yeah, well, I think he probably, he probably thinks, okay, there's a lot of things going through the mind. It's difficult to know exactly what anybody's got, obviously, but it's not going to knock him out of the tournament. So he might want to just take a gamble.
And he will be leading pre-flop. Duval will need to hit something if he gets called, or he'll be going home. And the call's made. Shipley leads pre-flop. A very, very important 5 cards here at this final table in London at this leg of the European Poker Tour. Is Duval on his way home? He hasn't far to travel, but he doesn't want to make that journey. Let's see what we've got. 10 of spades, the first card out on the flop. Dealer just setting up the overturned cards from both players. And the rest of the flop is as followed. The king of spades would give Duval a straight draw, but you've got a flush draw for Shipley as well. The 9s are leading. He hits his flush, and Duval might not have far to travel, but make that journey he will. His fellow Englishman then, John Shipley, takes a very, very important pot here. And Jeff Duval has really been struggling to get from the bottom of that chip count table for quite a while now, and to be honest, he's had 5th place written all over his forehead.
Jeff, bad luck.
Caroline, never mind.
What's that 5 for? Is that how much you're worth?
Yeah, 5th place. I didn't have enough to make him pass, really. It was only, he bets 90, I came over the top for another 120. It wasn't enough, really. He's supposed to pass.
You seem all right, though.
Never mind. Yeah.
It's like another day for you, isn't it?
It is. Another day at the office.
Well, Jeff, expect a letter of thank you in the post from John Shipley. He's now chip leader with 4 players left. Bardal from Norway, still with a fighting chance. And John Faulkner, what a fairy tale story, down to the final 4 here in London, the European Poker Tour. Robert Cooper, his fellow Englishman, still in as well. And more cards out. Shipley hits ace-9. He's been getting nice cards. And he raises with that.
Okay, so Bardal is thinking now. Okay, so he's gone all in with King 9.
Is it just me in my amateur position, or is that a strange bet?
It's the bet of a desperate man.
And desperate Bardal is. He needs some chips. John Shipley running away with this at the moment. John Faulkner sitting very well indeed. And we have a caller.
John Shipley.
Yep. Okay, he's called, and he's there.